A lot of hints had us convinced that one of the most anticipated events in the Poppy Playtime universe this January, the gameplay trailer for the new chapter, was supposed to drop on January 23rd, but no one saw the trailer or even its premiere. In this video, we're going to break down what all those hints actually meant, what the devs had to say about the new trailer, and how they finally officially confirmed a brand new monster. On January 23rd, 2025, the official Mob Entertainment account on X posted a strange message with just a hat emoji. Now, a lot of people are convinced it's about a character we've been teased about for ages, Doey the Doorman. The first clues came from one of the ARG images, which looked normal at first glance. But if you draw a few lines, you can clearly make out the silhouette of a clown. Later on, we got even more subtle hints, and that Halloween image straight up hinted at a hat. Look at Catnap's head, and you'll see the same accessory that Mob has been teasing forever. Putting all this info together, the only character who fits the description of a clown with a hat is Doey the Doorman. Here's what we know about him so far. Doey the Doorman might either be a cook or literally made of dough. It's assumed Doey will stay a mystery until the Chapter 4 gameplay trailer drops, and his full design will only be revealed in the chapter itself, similar to what happened with Miss Delight. His name could be a pun on the Christmas song Frosty the Snowman. If we compare him to Miss Delight, it's likely Doey the Doorman won't play a huge role in the story. He's more of a side character than someone rewriting the history of Playtime Co. It's also known that Doey used to work at the Playtime factory. As of now, we have no idea what he'll actually look like, but it's probably close to this render right here. Aside from all the hints about Doey the Doorman, Mob Entertainment's been dropping these weird posts with colorful circles on their account for the past few days. There are a few theories about what's going on here. One of them claims Mob's actually been counting down to the release of the gameplay trailer. When the red circle showed up, people started saying it's like a stoplight. Red, then yellow, then green, and boom, the trailer drops the next day. But then bam, an orange circle popped up and totally wrecked that theory. Another idea is that these colors represent Pianosaurus's horns, or maybe some of the colors on Yarnaby's body. But let's be real, Yarnaby's got way too many colors. If Mob's got to post every single one before they drop the trailer, we won't see it till like January 26th or 27th, which would be straight up ridiculous. Plus, with the whole hat thing recently, this theory's looking weaker by the second. Now here's what I think's actually going down. I'm betting on a green circle showing up on January 24th. As of editing this vid, it hasn't happened yet, but let's see if I'm right. Then, on Saturday, January 25th, we finally get that long-awaited gameplay trailer. Why Saturday? Well, all three recent trailers, Yarnaby, Pianosaurus, and the Doctor, dropped on Saturdays. It just makes sense, right? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Can't forget to mention the dev's latest words though. Zach's been playing games with us, huh? Not only did he reveal he's testing the game again, which, let's be real, just cranked up the hype even more, but he also made some pretty weird comments about the gameplay trailer. At first it was kind of vague, but then he straight up said the trailer's dropping soon. Of course, a ton of people instantly jumped to the conclusion that soon meant the same day. Like, y'all, have we learned nothing from Zach? He's done this before, saying something like that, and then boom. We're sitting around for 2 more weeks waiting on the trailer. But hey, this time it's different. We're less than a week away from Chapter 4 dropping, so that trailer's gotta be coming real soon. Alright, so we've gone through all the fresh info, but there's still some stuff we gotta talk about. Mainly what's probably going to be revealed in the new game trailer. And here, we're focusing on just 2 big things. First up, the new hand. Yeah, we've already seen how it looks, but the big mystery, how it actually works. There's a fan-made concept on MotyaGamesTV about the dash hand. And I gotta say, I'm a fan of the idea. But hey, let's be real. I can't promise it's gonna play out like that. What do y'all think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We have to talk about Dr. Harlow Sawyer and one of his most closely studied experiments, the prototype. I'm betting we're finally gonna learn a lot more about the prototype, maybe even from Sawyer himself. Heads up, I did touch on this in one of my earlier videos, but since not many of you saw that one, please don't roast me if I end up repeating myself here. And I'm already sorry if it somehow bothers you. Experiment 1006 has been considered the main villain for quite some time, and judging by the ending of Chapter 3, everyone was pretty sure the story would go in that direction. But not a single official trailer for the new chapter even hinted at this character being in Chapter 4, which pretty much confirms that this chapter definitely won't be the last in the Poppy Playtime saga. Instead of the prototype, we've got a brand new antagonist, Dr. Harley Sawyer. Not only is he responsible for creating many of the monsters, including the prototype itself, but he also had, let's say, a very interesting relationship with it. Sawyer mentions that although the experiment was still stubborn and silent, he was able to make new discoveries about the prototype. Before he could mention what he discovered, the prototype makes an unintelligible noise that gets the attention of Sawyer. He ends the log, but the conversation is still heard, with the prototype asking a question while changing his voice. The prototype asks Sawyer if he feels anything, although Sawyer does not understand the question. The prototype clarifies by saying he harms the toys, asking if he feels it. Sawyer merely says, "There's a secret inside the prototype that is valuable beyond all measure." But that doesn't change the fact that Experiment 1006 is still our main opponent, while Harley Sawyer is just another piece of the puzzle we'll need in Chapter 4 for several reasons. Like I mentioned before, Dr. Harley Sawyer is the mastermind behind most of the experiments, which means he's sitting on some seriously classified and valuable intel. In one of the frames from the trailer focused on the doctor, there's a weird frame where the spotlight's on a new hand, but we already figured out that this location is Harley Sawyer's office. It's safe to say we're definitely going to explore that spot and uncover some crucial details. I'm also convinced that in Chapter 4, we'll spend a lot of time dealing with Dr. Harley Sawyer. Whether it's through conversations, VHS tapes, or other documents, he's bound to drop some big reveals about the prototype. And with all that in mind, I want to hear from you. Do you think Dr. Harley Sawyer is going to be a villain we'll have to take down? Or could he actually turn out to be a somewhat positive character who might even help us with the bigger mystery in the Poppy Playtime saga? So it looks like we've got a solid grip on the prototype and Harley Sawyer, but as you might have noticed, a lot of key moments in Chapter 4 will actually tie back to the storyline from Chapter 3. But here's the question. Do you remember the player's main objective in the last chapter? We had to activate the machine producing the red gas. Once we powered up the central console, the gas production zone kicked into gear, redirecting that red gas or smoke through the pipes to another part of the Playtime factory. But where exactly? Well, thanks to the trailers for the new chapter, we've got our answer. All that red gas that was making life miserable in the Playcare area during Chapter 3 got funneled underground, straight into the prison. And that's exactly where most of the action in Chapter 4 is going to take place. Now let me throw a little interactive challenge your way. Think back to the scene where we took down Catnap. Drop a comment and tell me why you think this detail is so important. Pay attention to the moment when the electrified Catnap came into contact with the red gas. That's what caused Catnap to ignite. And let's be real, if our feline friend hadn't released its gas at just the right moment, who knows how that showdown would have ended. Now think back to where we redirected all that gas, to the prison zone. And that's a wrap for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.